So before I start my video today, I want to comment on how I cut a lot of my hair. I felt like there was a lot of dead hair, and I cut a lot of it off. And then there was even like close to my head dead hairs, so I cut a lot off. And now I have this tiny little pony. It's pretty even, I feel like, when it's down, but it's very short. And I have to have something covering the area that I cut it very short. But I would like to talk today about a couple things. First of all, there is something I wrote about when I was grieving for somebody who's still been a part of my life, but at that time somebody guided me. All the things I think they have that I don't, that I should write it all down. And this is like a year or more later maybe, or even in this last year. I feel like I added to this list many times, but I'm just going to go for it. And in other words, that these are part of me already. So that this person is part of me already. I'm just awakening these sparks. Okay, so this is like things in general that reflect me, in other words, my lights. And it could be that I have those lights reflecting from the outside in or inside out, and it's a great practice to try. So I'll just read mine, but you're welcome to get something out for yourself, write it out. Being able to turn off aspects, being able to turn on. Rising to the occasion and doing what has to be done. Losing temper or lashing out and getting triggered, low self-esteem, making excuses or blaming. And now I didn't promise this was all going to be positive, but light, so just angles. Beautiful, primitive, natural, refreshing. Compartmentalize in order to survive. Organized, orderly, neat, independent. Thrifty, resourceful, meager, and scrappy. Intuitively dancing and singing, cooking, making love sensually. Creative, artistic, designing, good eye for detail. Wanderer, nature, nomadic, explorer, discover. Curious and fascinating, interested in a lot. Quick learner, good memory, quick-minded. Smooth and fluid, but also awkward and nervous. Ability to stand out and command attention. Spiritual realms, heights and depths, light work. Culture and tradition are important, family ties. Been hurt, betrayed, abandoned, and abused. Many coping skills, insufficiencies, and adequacies, trying to find meaning and happiness and belonging, knowledge of divinity that changed destiny, like privacy and also like attention, depends when, likes to present a put-together self who's composed, a cat-like alpha power leader, calculated, confident, not afraid of human failings for the most part, try not to overindulge in greed, lots of challenges around desire, peace and quiet, deep wish to be in partnership and collaboration. And then I had a pasuk from my Living Deeply class, which I refer to often. When I write in those classes, I get a lot of great information. It's a full year session. I joined halfway through on my first year, and then 2 more complete years, and I'm in the 4th session, but I've only been part of it for 2.5 years. This is my 3rd and a half. Instead of I'm like a half a year that I wasn't there in the last 3 full sessions. So the pasuk I got is a verse from the Pentateuch, I think Pentateuch, however you say it. The English way of saying, the secular way of saying Chumash, Torah, the Bible, 5 books of Moses. So remove yourself from among them, and I shall consume them, and they fell on their faces. And this is from the Parsha, the portion of the week divided up, which has to do with Korach. So before I went to a class session, I had a talk with my friend David, and he's read a lot of books from the sages, and he has a lot of great information that he retains in his mental database from the culture that I am part of as well. So he shared with me that in the time of the 3rd Beis HaMikdash, the true Teshuvah, Korach will actually be the high priest. He was upset that he wasn't, and he was challenging the high priest, Moses' brother. The tzaddik will flourish like a date tree. Tzaddik Yitamar Yifrach has Korach in those letters. And his descendant was Shmuel, and he saw that, who cut Amalek into 4, unkinged Shaul, and anointed David. And there's 3 partners, Dasan, Aviram, and On ben Pelet. But On ben Pelet, and we know that what happened at Dasan and Aviram was they also got swallowed up, burnt. And the group got burnt, and the earth swallowed up with no trace. But On ben Pelet, his wife, took off her wig and said she is in the period of uncleanliness. Not uncleanliness or impurity, but like unsanctifiability because she was during that time, she was saying that they couldn't pass through and they couldn't see her married. She was a married woman, to see her hair uncovered, because they're not supposed to, the woman, while we are in the week after our period or during our period, we're not supposed to be able to be touched by a man, or our energy is like releasing, and so they shouldn't really be around it too. We're supposed to like not really congregate too much during our period, and then the week after we're not really supposed to touch even the partner, the husband. So anyway, she said that, and she had gotten her husband drunk, so they were coming to get her, but then Korach didn't want to approach her tent on that day, and the two other guys didn't want to approach either because she had her hair uncovered and they weren't supposed to look at her, and she was saying, approaching with her body, and she was basically saying to them, like, I'm impure, I'm unclean, you don't want me to touch you, so go away. And so the idea here is not to say she's unclean or whatever, but more like a good woman builds the home and a bad one destroys it. So, and actually all the children got sucked in except the sons who repented on the way in and were saved on the ledge of the black hole, and all their stuff, which there was no trace, not the sons that did teshuvah, but the return, but the others, like Korach and his congregant, his partners, all their stuff, even what they loaned to people, disappeared. So there was a talk with a friend of mine who said that in the times of Mashiach, by the times of the third Beis Hamikdash, how will Korach be the high priest? Is because everyone's going to be upright and connected. There will be that everybody could be. And there actually are many psalms by the sons of Korach, and as they're referred to by King David, they say a psalm by the son of Korach. So it's interesting. We should notice that. And they're number 42, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 84, 85, 87, and 88. And Moshe said that God gives a person in the world to guide us to do correct action, to bring light in the world. On our own, we can go wrong. It has to be for God's sake, right? So I want to talk about what open-ended transformation is here. And I would say in Chabad, I learned about the foundational indwelling encompassment. So like Chabad is the lineage I grew up in that says that it's still straight from Moshe. So Chabad is the Chachma, the wisdom, and the Bina is the understanding, and the knowledge of like application, practicality, is like the Das, the upper and lower realms of knowing. So foundational, indwelling, encompassment. It's like in and out at the same time. It's both the light and the vessel, right? So open-ended transformation is where it's like the light and the vessel, even the relationship between them, right? So there's a transformation happening. So trust issues with God. This is what it is, okay? This is what I'm writing about. So trust issues with God, protection, codependency, safety, insecurity, fearlessness inappropriately as distraction, thinking I'm meant to suffer, being an actress, poor circulation, disease to please others instead of self, sacrificing what I love, like Avram's son, right? We think about that. A covenant is born. Forgetting to orient to the light. A covenant is born. Light work, using energy, not enough, permission to feel. Endo-exothermic reactions. Thank you for almost 8 billion friends. My past and future lives, they are my gifts, one by one. Like this name, body, and voice, my portion of consciousness, my blessings are waiting. My challenges strengthen me to receive. I receive to share, and I begin again. And then it's trust issues with God. And I'm going to read it in order. Last time I went a little out of order, but I'm going to read it in order. Trust issues. I was getting excited and like skipping ahead of it. So I begin again. I get a chance to go again, right? Trust issues with God. Protection, codependency. Safety and security. Fearlessness inappropriately as distraction. Sacrificing what I love, Avram's son. Thinking I'm meant to suffer. Being an actress. Disease to please others instead of self. Poor circulation. Forgetting to orient to the light. A covenant is born. Light work. Using energy. Not enough permission to feel. Endo-exothermic reactions. Thank you for almost 8 billion friends. My past and future lives, they are my gifts one by one, like this name, body, and voice. My portion of consciousness, my blessings are waiting, my challenges strengthen me to receive. I receive to share, and I begin again.